This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Good contact, good result. Patrick Rodgers won the Hogan Award, won the Nicklaus Award as the top collegiate player. He was the #1 ranked amateur player in the world.
Yeah, great way to start a professional career. We all know how good you have been, and we also know that he's on a predictable line for a great future. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Headed for the bunker. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Now my yardage book says 145 yards to the hole. This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Patrick Rodgers putt for birdie. -1, meaning early going. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Frank, there's so many impressive holes here at Wolf Creek, but the second really stands out.
Yeah, that tee box, is it 9 stories high? It's hard to imagine you can tee up that high, and obviously, trying to judge distance is one thing, but also just the visual that you get.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, what are the factors that go into playing at elevation?
Well, first of all, try and factor in how far you are above sea level, because that's going to create the thinner air where that ball's going to keep traveling. Plus, in the desert here, we get warm air, so the ball's going to go even further. And then Wolf Creek makes it even harder because they give you these elevated tees. So it is a little bit of a guessing game, but the fun part is, though, when you see it stand on the tee, like the second hole, that's 9 stories high, and you tee it up with a driver, you really can hit the ball close to 400 yards. That's the fun part about it.
Now the second shot here to this par 4 second.
Well, you took some yardage off that tee shot because it's playing downhill, and the second shot, you might have to add a little bit on because it's going to play slightly back up the hill. Green has 3 different levels. It'll be very important you get the ball on the right level. That bunker on the right, if you come out of it a little bit because that second shot's slightly uphill, there could be a little bit of a problem, especially if the flag's all the way in the back.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Frank, he might like this one. He might. Oh, what a putt from long distance, bottom of the barrel. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. It plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. For Snedeker, this is for par. One under early in the round. These putts keep the round together. Just a couple of feet. So they'll tap in. So with that, the score is now at even par. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away. Oh, I like that. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport? What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons.
Now 2 to the good side.
How about this hole, Frank, par 5 fifth?
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream, but you can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you've got to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
We went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Well, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
On the green, Frank, but might need a pair of binoculars to see the hole.
You're a long way from the band. You can barely hear the music from that far away.
Frank, what's it going to take here on this approach at the par 5?
Well, some people might actually try and bounce it in between those two bunkers and run the ball up on the green, but personally, I'd try and actually take a hybrid or something with a little bit more loft and try and fly the ball. Take those two bunkers out of play.
This one has a good line.
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Rodgers just wants to keep this round moving along. This is for par.
Has this now for bogey. Well, he has that for bogey, and I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the third hole seems to have really shaken his confidence. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. 'Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat.
Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water.
What a great shot.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. So just a formality here. He'll take par and move on. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. So this will be the 3rd shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
In the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brutal out there.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Set to go, not an easy shot by any means.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that light.
Now at -2 for the day. Getting set now over the putt. Good putt, and now 1 under par. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
What a sensational putt that was, Frank.
Unbelievable. Pace, line, everything to perfection.
Frank, he has his own putting style, has what they call a pop stroke.
Yeah, a little bit like Billy Casper, but it's more the decisiveness. Brandt doesn't mess around. His first look he trusts and goes with it.
Nice par to remain at 2 under. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Thank goodness, Frank, back on dry land here.
As long as this one avoids it.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot.
Could have been a lot worse. That didn't finish up too bad.
No, just on the fringe, so he'll still have an opportunity to knock this one in. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact.
Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And getting ready for the putt. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This is a bogey try from Patrick Rodgers. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists so often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is, male, female. It doesn't. It certainly affects everybody that plays this game, and somehow you've got to play. You've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time, but this is why it's so important, because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way,
Exactly.
Rich. Really did. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Second shot.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly.
Settles in over the putt. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th.
Rodgers now for bogey.
Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
Par bid here.
Drops it, and he's at even par.
Nudge this one home, finish it up.
Putt drops, now at 1 over par. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Now from the bunker.
Just a little splash out on this par 3. And that's where the men separate themselves from the boys. That was just a beautiful bunker shot.
That's skill right there.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the reed. It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it.
Surprise, surprise.
I tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole.
That's a par, And that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable, and 2, there's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first.
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. This now the 4th shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. 160-yard shot. There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people.
Good read, good line, well played.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Just a shade over par, +1. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky. Well, how about that? The ball stayed inbounds after all, Frank.
Yeah, that was a real head scratcher. A couple more yards and, well, would have paid a severe penalty.
Brand Snedeker ready for the approach. Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
Second shot now for Patrick Rodgers. Snedeker's over the birdie putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Getting set now over the putt.
Makes the putt and moving in the right direction. 2 under par. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Headed for the bunker?
It's tough to take an extra club out of that lie, Rich, because it's always in the back of your mind. If you hit it properly, it's going to ML the green.
Gave that one everything he had. I mean, really gouged it, and still, it was short. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Rodgers trying to play mistake-free golf. Needs this for his par.
That was well judged, wasn't it?
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
1 over for the day. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That will be a great look at birdie. 135 yards of golf to be played here on this hole. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
These putts keep the round together. Takes it to 3 under for the day. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dog leg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot. This looks like it's going to find the target. He's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Frank, you'd like to walk away with birdie here, given that it is a pretty short par 4. How do you get it done?
You're going to have something instead of the short iron variety into this green. The green, the hardest part of it is all the undulations on this green. You realize why Wolf Creek has a slope rating of 154. So even with a short iron in hand, make sure you hit it in the precise section where that flag's located. Otherwise, you're going to have a hellacious putt across this green.
Now at 1 under for the round. Talk to any of the experts, they will tell you this is a guy to keep an eye on. Patrick Rodgers has this now for birdie. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard. There is fairway out there. There is.
He can't find it, though. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. Seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Yeah, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
This is a 13-footer. Just misses. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
For Snedeker, this is for par. Good stroke right there. That's a par and stays at 1 under. Clean this up with a tap. Putting a good round together now at 4 under. Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 100, 70 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. He'll be happy with that in the fairway. Now a good chance to attack this hole. This, the second shot here at the par 4. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Not too bad, a round of 70. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So a drop shot. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.